And news just out, Stellantis is laying off almost 2,500 factory workers from an assembly plant outside of Detroit.
The Ram 1500, that titan of the truck world, is staring down the barrel of extinction. But this is just the beginning of a seismic shift that's threatening to upend the entire automotive landscape. Stellantis is making big changes. Workers are being cast aside in numbers so staggering. The unions are up in arms, and the reverberations are being felt all the way to the hallowed halls of Ford and GM. Make no mistake, this isn't just an auto industry crisis, it's an economic time bomb ticking away beneath the very foundations of American industry. Let me explain. How did we get here? The automotive world is in chaos, or so claims Stellantis CEO Carlos Tavares. He paints a picture of an industry in freefall, with every brand clinging to the precipice of disaster. Yet, in the same breath, he boasts of Stellantis' superior performance. But here's where the plot thickens. Shawn Fain, the Firebrand Union president, isn't buying this tale of woe. No, he's calling Tavares out for what he sees as an unmitigated disgrace. Fain's words cut deep. He said if any rank-and-file worker demonstrated the same level of incompetence as Tavares, they'd be out on their ear as quickly as possible. The irony? That's precisely the fate befalling thousands upon thousands of workers under Tavares' watch. As the dust settles on this automotive Armageddon, one question looms large. Is this the death knell for the American auto industry as we know it? Or are we witnessing the painful birth of a new era? One thing's for certain, the road ahead is fraught with peril, and not everyone will make it to the other side. What's the impact? The situation at Stellantis has reached a critical turning point, and it seems the stakes couldn't be higher. The company has been ensnared in a whirlwind of significant layoffs, with the roots of this turmoil firmly planted in a sharp decline in vehicle sales. This, combined with a strategic shift toward electric vehicle production, has thrust the workforce into a realm of uncertainty that's almost palpable. Earlier discussions hinted at plans to lay off as many as 2,450 factory workers at the Warren Truck Assembly plant, a decision driven primarily by the winding down of the Ram 1500 classic production line. Yet, this is merely the tip of the iceberg. Fast forward to July 2024, and Stellantis shocked everyone by announcing temporary layoffs impacting over 4,000 workers at the very same assembly plant. Yes, you heard it right. Over 4,000 workers suddenly found themselves in the eye of an employment storm. To break it down further, approximately 1,600 of these individuals faced immediate job loss due to the elimination of the second shift. The question weighing heavily on everyone's minds is, what on earth triggered such drastic measures? The answer is staggering, a 21% plummet in vehicle sales when compared to the previous year. This significant downturn has compelled the company to rein in production, creating a ripple effect that feels like watching a line of dominoes tumble in excruciatingly slow motion. It's a sight that many employees would rather not witness firsthand, but there's more. Just a stone's throw away lies the Toledo Assembly Complex, where its own set of layoffs has stirred the pot, particularly for those dedicated workers crafting the Jeep Gladiator. Roughly half of the 5,000 employees at this complex have felt the brunt of these changes, leaving many in a state of anxious limbo as production halts linger on the horizon for at least 2 weeks. Can you imagine heading into work one day only to discover that half your team has been sent packing without a moment's notice? This alarming trend didn't spring up overnight. Earlier in the year, Stellantis' predicament was already dire. In fact, they had previously laid off 2,453 employees, not just full-timers but also supplemental staff, across the Detroit Assembly Complex MAC. But they didn't stop there. The company also made head-scratching cuts of 400 engineering and tech workers back in March, and implemented layoffs of temporary part-time staff at various locations. This unfolding scenario resembles a chain reaction, one unsettling event after another, feeding into a greater uncertainty that envelops the workforce. But what's the impact of this? When you hear about layoffs at a massive company like Stellantis, it might be tempting to think, oh, that's just a shame for those poor workers. But hang on a moment. The truth is far more complicated than it seems at first glance. Those pink slips represent much more than a single job loss. They act like a stone tossed into a tranquil pond, creating ripples that spread outwards, touching the lives of countless others in the community. This isn't just a story about displaced employees. It's a story about how entire communities begin to feel the strain when jobs disappear. When factory workers find themselves without employment, their ability ability to spend money takes a nosedive. So what happens next? The local businesses that seem to thrive through constant patronage start to feel the impact. Consider those beloved local shops, those charming mom and pop establishments that you pass on the way to work. When their loyal customers suddenly can't splurge on dinner or a casual shopping outing anymore, these once thriving enterprises begin to falter. This ripple effect, known as the multiplier effect, illustrates how interconnected our local economies really are. Think about it. Retailers, hair salons, cozy little cafes all stand to experience drops in foot traffic and revenue. But the fallout doesn't end there. As these businesses grapple with plummeting sales, their employees might also face the grim reality of layoffs. It's as if an avalanche of job losses is poised to bury the entire town under its weight. As the unemployment rates soar, vital community resources such as food banks and social services become increasingly overwhelmed. The families that once relied on steady job incomes now find themselves clinging to support systems that are also at risk of collapse. This creates an atmosphere dense with anxiety and tension. The struggle doesn't just impact faceless statistics. Real families are affected, their futures hanging precariously in the balance. Consider the workers who had just recently landed jobs boasting better wages and improved benefits, only to soon receive the devastating news of layoffs. The resulting feelings of betrayal and uncertainty are deeply unsettling. On the political front, local leaders aren't simply sitting back and watching the crisis unfold. They're stepping up. They are articulating their concerns and rallying for workers who find themselves in distress, advocating for their needs in a time of crisis. But Carlos Tavares has boldly declared a target to slash costs by a staggering 30%, primarily through job cuts and a laser focus on enhancing efficiency. Naturally, this powerful declaration has ignited a firestorm of concern among employees, as whispers of job security swirl in the air like an unwelcome specter. Everyone is left wondering whether the company truly plans to stand by its workforce while making this monumental leap toward electric vehicles. The future looms heavy with questions, and only time will tell what lies ahead for those caught in the crosshairs of this corporate upheaval. So can you blame the union for getting angry at this? This isn't just about a few jobs lost, it's about a community's resilience being put to the test. As the consequences of layoffs extend far beyond the jobless, the quest for recovery becomes a shared journey that involves everyone. How do we rebuild? How do we support each other in these challenging times? Ultimately, these questions resonate with urgency, and the answers could define the community's future for years to come. So what is the union doing about it? We all know the union as this powerful entity, but Stellantis, let's be real, it's made quite a mess. Let me break it down for you. You see, the atmosphere within the union is simmering, and tensions are bubbling over. The meetings happening behind closed doors? Let's just say they're anything but calm and collected. The discontent is palpable, echoing through the halls where critical decisions are being made, and it's hard to ignore. Workers are eyeing their union leaders with skepticism. There's a growing number who are starting to question whether these leaders are truly committed to protecting their interests. Imagine being on a sports team where your coach keeps making baffling decisions. You'd start to wonder if they even have a game plan. Rumors are circulating that some union leaders are not stepping up to support the rank and file members adequately. This disconnect is causing many to feel deeply discouraged and disillusioned. With this rising tide of discontent, a significant push is being made for change at the top. An increasing number of United Auto Workers members are hurling phrases like sellout bureaucrats at their leaders, accusing them of turning a blind eye to issues that truly matter, especially job security. This fiery sentiment is spreading quickly, and the idea of ushering in new leadership is becoming more appealing to those who feel betrayed. Their message is crystal clear. They want a leader who won't just sit behind a desk, comfortable and detached, but one who's ready to fight tooth and nail for workers' rights. Enter Shawn Fain, the union president, a figure stepping up and making some serious waves. When it comes to Stellantis and its recent layoffs, he's not holding back at all. His stance is as bold as it gets. He's branding these layoffs as a disgrace, rallying the union members to band together and push back against what many perceive as an injustice. You can practically feel the electricity in the air as he stirs up the workers, urging them to fight like hell. But this is more than just fiery speeches. Fain's words carry weight and purpose. They are a compelling call to action for all union members. He's pressing the importance of solidarity, urging everyone to come together and showcase their unity. The message resonates strongly. This is not the moment to retreat or shy away. This battle transcends mere job preservation. It's about the very future of the workers and their rights. The urgency of the situation is undeniable, and Fane's leadership could mark a turning point in this ongoing struggle. The atmosphere may be charged with uncertainty, but there is also a burgeoning hope, a hope that united action can pave the way for a brighter future. So, what will it take to inspire those on the sidelines to join the fight? As the narrative unfolds, the question lingers: will they rise to the occasion, or will they fade into the shadows of complacency? The answer remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure: the battle has just begun, and it's about to get intense. But what exactly are the demands of the workers? Topping their list is something that should be non-negotiable: job security. The union isn't merely asking for a polite acknowledgement or some encouraging words while the company faces tough times. No, they're rolling up their sleeves and demanding Stellantis prioritize job retention above all else, particularly before any fat bonuses are handed out to executives. The message is straightforward: if Stellantis truly values the hard work of its employees, the very backbone of its success, then investing in these dedicated individuals must be their first priority. It's more than just ensuring that everyone stays on the payroll. It's about creating careers that are not only sustainable, but also truly able to provide for families and uplift entire communities. Think about it. These jobs should empower workers, giving them the tools and stability to thrive. The union is riled up over the need to revive benefits that have sadly slipped through the cracks. And let's clarify what we mean. We're not talking about trivial perks like a new coffee maker for the break room. We're discussing crucial benefits that genuinely make a difference in the lives of workers, allowing them to feel valued and secure in their roles. This isn't just for a select few either. The union is advocating for better pay and enhanced working conditions across the board, particularly for new hires who all too often start off earning far less than they rightfully deserve. Shifting gears to their third crucial demand: accountability regarding executive compensation. It's hard to ignore the staggering contrast here. While thousands of dedicated employees are battling layoffs and uncertainty, Stellantis executives are treating themselves to hefty pay raises, a jaw-dropping 56% increase to be precise. The United Auto Workers certainly isn't the type to sit idly by and let this blatant corporate inequity slide. They're illuminating the injustice, calling it out with unwavering resolve. The union has made their stance abundantly clear. They're prepared to file formal grievances if their demands aren't met promptly, particularly concerning the reopening of the Belvedere factory in Illinois and adhering to previously made promises. They're poised to take significant action. And trust me, this isn't just posturing for effect. They are seriously gearing up for an organized strike against Stellantis. And we're not merely discussing a few employees taking a break from their desks. Oh no, we're talking about a massive walkout capable of bringing production and operations to a grinding halt across all Stellantis facilities. The stakes are high, and it's clear that the workers aren't backing down until their voices are heard and their demands are met. But Stellantis is not backing down either. One reason is survival. What does that mean? Let's dissect it. A dying company. Let's dive into the daunting reality unfolding within the automotive giant Ram. This isn't just business as usual, it's a seismic shift that signals trouble brewing on the horizon. Over the past few months, Ram has faced a significant, troubling decline in sales that demands attention. It's not just numbers, they represent lives, livelihoods, and potential futures. Specifically, if we examine the figures for the first half of 2024, we discover a shocking 19.5% plunge in sales. That translates into an almost unfathomable drop of approximately 45,500 fewer units sold compared to the same time frame in 2023. Such colossal setbacks are not just bumps in the road, they raise serious questions about the direction Ram is heading. But it is not just Jeep feeling the heat. Every Stellantis brand is suffering. Jeeps is just feeling it the most, experiencing a 19% drop in sales compared to last year. When we delve into individual model performances, the narrative intensifies. The Wrangler, long considered a fan favorite, is down 17%. The Gladiator isn't faring much better, facing an even steeper decline of 24%. And the Grand Cherokee, it's down a staggering 26%. Hold on to your hats, we're just getting started. And moving along to Chrysler, the grim news continues. The brand faces a similar fate, with a year-over-year sales drop of 19% in Q2 2024. The Pacifica minivan, typically a crowd pleaser, dropped 16%, having sold just 37,786 units. The Chrysler 300 sedan, it plummeted by a jaw-dropping 53%, wrapping up the quarter with a mere 1,998 sales. Next in line is Dodge, and believe it or not, it's not escaping unscathed either. Sales have dipped by 17% for the same period. The Challenger, which has a loyal following, dropped 11%, coming in at 11,480 units sold. The Charger took an even greater hit, down 34% to 16,216 units sold. This decline makes sense. The current generation is wrapping up production, and it leaves many wondering about the future. The Durango has also shown a 9% decrease, landing at 17,792 units sold. Surprisingly, the Hornet is the only model still in production, but even that sold just 4,299 units, raising eyebrows and questions about its viability. So the question now isn't if they can turn things around, but how quickly will they adapt, innovate, and reclaim their spot in the hearts of consumers? The clock is ticking. As these challenges continue to mount, a whirlwind of questions looms over the future of the Ram brand. How will Ram adapt and reclaim its position in such a fiercely competitive truck market? What's their plan here? Their plan consists of, instead of bringing back their legendary truck, opting out to roll out a limited edition. This decision isn't just a throwback, it signals Stellantis' intentions to pivot. The limited run pickup marks the end of an era for a true high-performance icon that once commanded respect on the roads. That's why Ram has announced a national final edition of their truck. To be honest, it feels like this change has been a long time coming, because competitors like Chevy have been leaving Ram in their dust. Chevy's unit sales surged ahead by nearly 100,000 compared to Ram's, and that's no minor difference. It's a massive chasm. The numbers clearly underline the struggles Ram is currently grappling with. They highlight an urgent need for the company to reassess their strategies, perhaps even undertake a transformation in response to the shifting market dynamics. But according to Stellantis, this limited edition model from Ram is not just a truck, it's a rare treasure, with only 4,000 units available globally, making it an irresistible opportunity for true truck enthusiasts. Of this exclusive batch, a mere 340 units are allocated for the Middle East market, while just 130 are destined for Australia. Each one carries a jaw-dropping price tag of $249,950 plus on-road costs. Now let's be honest, Stellantis is leaning heavily into the strong reputation of the beloved Ram brand to market these high-priced trucks, and let me tell you, it's a sight to behold. The truck features stunning satin titanium bead lock wheels and unique TRX badging, which together add a rugged yet refined charm to its overall appeal. And don't miss the satin titanium TRX badge on the passenger side dashboard, a subtle touch of exclusivity that further sets this truck apart. This beast is powered by a supercharged 6.2-liter Hemi V8 engine, churning out a jaw-dropping 702 horsepower and a whopping 650 pound-feet of torque. Imagine this, the sheer power behind the wheel going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.5 seconds. It covers a quarter mile in a blistering 12.9 seconds, hitting speeds of 108 miles per hour with a top speed of 118 miles per hour. In essence, the 2024 Ram 1500 TRX Final Edition is a beloved icon, supercharged and enhanced with a price tag that reflects its extraordinary capabilities. But there's more at play here than just a truck with horsepower to spare. This model reveals Stellantis' broader strategy. Faced with declining sales, Stellantis is rolling out high-end limited edition models to create buzz and hopefully reverse its fortunes. Ram in particular is undergoing a significant transformation. They're not just building trucks that haul, they're redefining what it means to own a pickup. It's no longer just about rough and tumble utility. Ram is steering the brand into a new era of style, efficiency, and capability, answering the demands of modern consumers who want it all: power, luxury, and cutting-edge technology. And that's just the beginning. There's growing excitement about the potential return of the mid-sized Ram Dakota, not to mention the buzz around the Rampage, which just launched in Brazil. By re-entering the mid-sized truck segment, Ram could be setting itself up for a game-changing move, broadening its appeal to a wider, more diverse customer base. But here's the million-dollar question: will it actually work? It's simpler than you might think. Just take a quick glance at the prices for new Ram trucks, and you'll get the picture. So let's talk about it. A lost cause. Starting prices for models like the 2025 Ram 1500 hover around $70,000, with some premium variants easily crossing into the $80,000 territory. Yes, you read that right. Those numbers are creeping dangerously close to the cost of luxury sports cars. For many potential buyers, particularly those from the working class who have long been drawn to Ram's rugged, dependable image, those prices are simply out of reach. It's almost as if they're being priced out of the market before they even step foot into a dealership. With the cost of living skyrocketing, rising rent, grocery prices, and the ever-increasing cost of fuel, it's harder than ever for everyday consumers to justify these kinds of purchases. Financial experts often recommend that car loans should ideally account for just 10 to 15% of an individual's monthly income. So if you're eyeing that $80,000 Ram, you'd need to be earning about $150,000 annually to keep your finances afloat. That's no small feat for most people, making it increasingly difficult to rationalize spending that much on a truck. And here's where Ram dealers are hitting a wall. Their lots are filling up with unsold trucks. Hundreds, if not thousands, of 2023 and 2024 models just sitting there, waiting for buyers who aren't coming. Then there's the issue of depreciation. Many buyers are wary of the rapid decline in value that these high-priced trucks tend to experience. It's estimated that a new Ram could lose 15 to 20% of its value the moment it leaves the dealership. Who wants to shell out that kind of cash only to watch their investment plummet? Now, when it comes to reliability, particularly for the Ram 1500, the story gets complicated. Sure, these trucks are celebrated for their performance and features, but some nagging reliability concerns persist. One of the most notorious issues for Ram 1500 owners is the dreaded Hemi lifter tick. If you've heard an annoying ticking sound from the engine, chances are it's due to faulty lifters. Left unaddressed, this can lead to more serious problems, like worn camshafts, potentially causing significant engine damage. The lifter tick tends to be especially noticeable in colder months, and let's face it, nobody wants to deal with that headache in the dead of winter. Typically, this issue crops up around the 70,000 mile mark, which is when owners start paying closer attention to their truck's performance. Fixing it can be pricey, with repair costs running into the thousands. Some owners have tried using higher quality oil to alleviate the problem, but that's more of a band-aid solution than a permanent fix. There's more. Reports have surfaced about broken or warped manifold bolts, which can cause exhaust leaks that affect the truck's performance and fuel efficiency. Fixing these issues often requires labor-intensive work, extracting the bolts, which can quickly become a costly endeavor. And it doesn't stop there. Ram has faced a slew of recalls in 2024, including one for the 2023 Ram 1500, 2500, and 3500 models due to flawed welding in the transmission control unit. This defect could lead to transmission fluid leaking onto electrical components, causing potential loss of drive power or an inability to shift into park. Deep discounts. Dealers are offering markdowns ranging from 12% to 20% off the manufacturer's suggested retail price, hoping to entice buyers back into showrooms. But the thing is, these discounts only suggest that Ram's pricing strategy may have missed the mark, signaling to consumers that they should always expect a deal, which could further erode the brand's premium positioning. But what's your take on this? Let's know in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.